everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformer Studio Series Voyager class War for Cybertron Ironhide. You can see him there in front of this box. We'll go ahead and put him off the side real quick. And yep, the box, the brand new Studio Series style box. You got the, Ironhide right there in both his robot and vehicle mode. You got Transformer Studio Series and War for Cybertron logo right there in Ironhide, Hasbro. And kind of the 28 steps and like all this stuff up here, more than meets the eye and hey, conversions and all that stuff. On the top, you have, of course, War for Cybertron and Ironhide right there. On the side here, you have artwork of Ironhide and both Studio Series. On this side, you have the Autobot symbol, Halo, an extension of this front artwork right here, including seeing a bit of the background from the game, and of course, Voyager class. On the bottom, you have some manufacturing details and what's included. And on the back, you have some copyrights, warnings, and product shots. And hey, look, a little screenshot from the game, including Ironhide works with Optimus Prime to remove Dark Energon from Cybertron's core. And also, again, no more backdrops. Yay for me. And included in the box, of course, is the instructions, which are pretty straightforward. And well, if you have the War for Cybertron Ratchet, you pretty much know exactly what you're getting. So, Ironhide, he is a War for Cybertron character, and yep, he is one. Yep, you can see that. Got a nice face. Kind of looks withered a little bit. You get the silver blue eyes. Got the gunmetal gray kind of windshield thing. You got the Autobot symbol with a little circle around it. You got the reds and basically grays all throughout. You got the wheels. Again, the wheels have the nice little red line around as the rim. You got all that stuff. You got the gray and all that stuff as well. And you have a bit of a backpack, but it's kind of expected. Kind of looks almost like a jetpack thing or something because of the whooshing. Like a big old thruster that makes it go whoosh like that instead of up. Yeah, articulation is also largely the same as Ironhide. You got, the head is all the ball joint, although mine's very stiff. You got left and also got, I think I just got caught. Oh, did it? Left and right. You got left and right. You got up and down a little bit. You do have a tiny bit of waggle. Not really a whole lot. That, again, the shoulders are kind of weird. You got this separate shoulder piece. I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit. There we go. You got the separate shoulder piece, which got the hinge right here, and you got this ball joint right here. There's actually, you can see there's also the pin here for the old hinge, but this doesn't move. At least on mine, this doesn't really move like it did on the Ratchet. It's just kind of, it's interesting. But yeah, you got that, which shows the actual shoulder, which you can see right there. There's a swivel. You go right there. You can do full 360. But outward, you got pretty far outward right there. You have a bicep swivel right there. You got the elbow right there. You do have a wrist swivel right there. You have a waist swivel, which is unhindered right there. You got forward that far. You got back that far. You got outward that far. You have a knee swivel right there. You do have the knee bend, which is about 90 degrees. Again, the shape of the leg is kind of deceptive in the sense that it's kind of comes down and then goes forward, so it's deceptive. And of course you got ankle tilt right there, like that, and also a bit of a toe joint right there, thanks to transformation. So overall, I would say again pretty solid. The only thing I would say is the shoulders are weird. And the legs are to make things look weird too, so it's kind of easy to accidentally pose them in such a way to make why does he keep falling over, because you got the legs all messed up. So he also comes with a couple accessories, namely his axe and his gun. Can't remember which gun this is now off the top of my head, but of course the gun you could of course you can hold in the hand like that, and the axe can be separated like so and plugged into the bottom from the plugged in from the bottom and then pushed back on top right there like that. So got all that stuff, and the gun can also replace the forearm entirely. You got pop that off and pop that back on right there, and you got the gun on. And of course, just like the Ratchet version, you can untab that and bring that out, and then there's a little slot right there for this tab on the forearm, which we'll tab in right there. And then of course now the hand is stored away, which is real nice, so you can keep it like that if you want. And of course the weapon storage for both of these right here, you can take this, there's a little peg right here which can peg into the Tamashi stage port right here on the back. Plug it in right there like that, although kind of just sticking out like that. And the axe here, to get out his hand, you got a little a slot right there which you can plug in this over this tab right here on the back, and thus that's the wrong slot. This slot right there. Thus storing the axe as well. I'm going to take the forearm, bring it back out. And of course, because this is also compatible with all the other War for Cybertron Studio Series War for Cybertron figures, when it comes to, you know, the stuff like, you know, the mixing and matching of the guns and whatnot, because that's how they do things. So that does not want to stay tabbed on. What are you doing? There we go. So that's Ironhide. I actually think he's pretty cool looking. The only thing I maybe complain about, yeah, the shoulders are annoying, and yeah, the head's kind of also sunken in a weird way that I'm not sure I like. Yeah, again, the legs can also be just a bit deceptive, cause you to think that they're, you know, he's sitting differently than he actually is. So yeah, overall, also you can see possibly, yeah, his arms are kind of weirdly long. Like, there's not really much you can do about that. His arms are just plain weirdly long, and yep. I think he's pretty solid looking as a whole. Yeah, some quick comparisons. Again, here's some War for Cybertron guys, including quite a few Autobots now. Hey, it's Bumblebee, who's a little void or little deluxe. Here's Sideswipe, who's also deluxe, but a bit taller than Bumblebee, and also wants to stand funny. There's Sideswipe, very red as well. And here's, of course, the Voyager Optimus Prime. Roughly the same height. Well, Optimus is a smidge taller, but not a whole bunch taller. But Optimus is definitely chunkier feeling. And of course, his mold mate here's, I guess, Ratchet. You can see some of the differences. You can see, yeah, the chests are very different. The shoulder plates the shoulders are very different. The legs are the same. The feet are the same. Arms are the same. Forearms anyway. The shoulders are different, head's different, and the chest is different. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff is very similar. Different gun too. You can see, yeah, obviously this got a big old barrel versus that thing, but the axe even is the same. Not quite the same color though. Interestingly enough, not quite the same color. Just realized that's a thing there. Oh, cobweb. Huh. Work fast. Wrong figure too. So. Yeah, Robo mode is pretty much a lot of this what I said about Ratchet. I think the overall, looking at the two of them, I think Ironhide looks a little bit better, but yeah, he's still got some of the same eccentricities that Ratchet has, so for better or for worse. But there you go. Pretty solid little robot. I say little, but he's actually pretty chunky. But yeah, getting the weapon accessories off, because now it's time for transformation. And yeah, transformation is pretty much identical to Ratchet's. You gotta, you know, untab that, bring it down, fold those out like so, then untab the chest from everything else. Bring the chest out, yeah, bring it out for in this armature. This right here, you gotta collapse the head in a little bit. It's not gonna go all the way in. And then the weird thing, of course, is you're gonna bring this up. Yeah, bring this up right there, like that. And then taking the shoulder bits, you gotta bring them back and then rotate them and bring them in like that. Again, bring it back, rotate that, and bring it in like that. This is right there. And then you gotta take the arms here. You gotta rotate this right here so this slot's pick on this side, and then you get this little tab here. You gotta bring it in, and also, and before you bring it in, actually bring it down, this part down like that. So then you can bring it in, and then get this arm aligned with that slot. Bring this up a little bit higher. Bring the arm aligned with that slot right here, so it's like that. Bring this down and rotate it right here, so this tab right here goes in this big slot right there, like that. And then same thing with this arm. Bring this out, rotate it around, break the arm right there, bring this inward, and then rotate this right here like this, so it kind of lines up with that tab right there. And then fold this up, and then of course get that slot lined up with this tab right here, like that. And of course you bring this forward, and this will come down over top and tab over everything. Make sure it tabs over actually everything. Like that. And then go ahead and rotate the waist 180, like that. And then take the knees here and rotate at the knee as well, like that. Take the feet and you take the toes and bring those down like that and like that. You open up these leg panels right there and right there. Open the leg panels, then bring this out right here. Then bring these out. Remember, use that double hinge. You want to make sure to line this up properly. So you also want to bring this out. And this right here, there's a tab right here, which is going to go in this slot right here. So again, make sure this is all lined up. Otherwise it won't work properly, like that. And then same thing on this side. Bring this panel out, bring it out right here, extend out the hinge as much as you can so it lines up properly. And then bring out this panel and tab it in right here, like that. You gotta make sure it's all lined up properly. And then you take this in right here, you untab that or move that out and bring it around over top. Bring it around over top. Make sure the knees are in the right position too. Bring it right over top, and you're gonna have to bring the legs down a bit so it all lines up properly. Then line it up and start bringing it in. You know, also make sure the feet are also fully inward like that. And then start bringing it in, start lining everything up. Bring it all in. Hands lined up properly too. Make sure these aren't in the way. Also make sure this all stays together. For some reason this one likes to untab itself. This panel likes to really untab itself really easily. It's really annoying. Yeah, make sure these little bits on the knee pieces which will come together. And these will also come together as well. Should all come together eventually. There, like that. Like there. There. It's all done. Of course, take these panels right here and tab these together. Like that. Bring this down again. And bring those together. Then bring them down like that. Tab those in right here. Like that. And down here, if they haven't done so themselves, you got to tab these panels together right there, and then they'll tab in over these tabs right there. And there you go. Once you're all done, there's Ironhide in his vehicle mode. Yeah, Ironhide is pretty much the same kind of vehicle that Ratchet is. Kind of weird, squat, little kind of buggy thing. I don't know, a truck, SUV, van-ish thing. I don't know. Kind of hard to describe what it is other than it looks like a shoe. It looks like a big wide shoe, I guess. You got the Autobot symbol right there, though. You got the, again, the kind of the gunmetal windows, including this, which, again, weird because Cybertronians have windows considering there's nobody sitting in them, but whatever. You got some detailing back here. Detailing again, the red lines on the wheels and the, the tread patterns. You got some nice bits of gunmetal here. You got the whole honeycomb looking thing going on right here, which is pretty cool, glowing red. Yeah, I got those little bits right here, the three little lines there because he has them in his robot mode, and yeah, he rolls pretty good as well, particularly when you get all transformed properly. Which you saw me struggle a little bit. Which again, it's just I don't know what it is, but this Ironhide is it's like I know exactly what to do, but it fights me like so many steps of the way. Once you get the legs fight me a lot to get all lined up, which is annoying. But of course, there's also weapon storage. You can, there's two slots right here. You can do these tabs right here and just kind of, actually, you want to do it this way. Like that, you can tab that on right there. And of course, there's a couple slots right here for these tabs right here, so you can have, I guess, turn the axe into a cannon of sorts right there if you want, or something, or a battering ram stick thing or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty solid overall alt mode. And actually, if we do get it all lined up, it's for most part pretty solid. As you can see, like that's kind of happening. That happens occasionally, but it's also really easy to get it all back lined up again. And it mostly lines up. It's just there's a little tiny bit of gap right here. So yeah, overall pretty solid alt mode, particularly if you're into the whole War for Cybertron aesthetic as a whole. So again, some comparisons. Here's Bumblebee, looking very much smaller, which makes sense, but also kind of has the whole shoe wedge thing going on. Sideswipe. Is that, the whole thing. Reds and silvers as well. Optimus Prime, also Voyager, again, significantly larger looking as a whole. You can see that. And of course, the figure he was based on Ratchet, which you can see the differences are even less pronounced in this one. You got basically a different grill. You can see that bit of a different grill there. There is some mold detailing differences up here. You can see some, you know, this got different lines and stuff right here. There is also some detailing differences back here. These are the rest of this right here is pretty much the same along the side. Along the side is pretty much the same, although he's got a little bit extra red on his wheels versus Ironhide. And the back side is actually kind of different. This one's a little more smoothed out, but still some detailing. But yeah, you see that difference as well. You can see, yeah, pretty much the same but slightly different. It's like the same car but with different trim packages. So there you go. So that's War for Cybertron Ironhide. Again, like the Ratchet, I think he's really solid. He's got a good amount of articulation. His you know, his weapons are pretty solid. He looks pretty decent. I think he actually looks better than Ratchet. I think just between the color and mold differences, it just makes a mold already kind of liked it, or it makes it look better. The transformation's mostly fun. The only problem is, again, getting the legs to cooperate can be a bit of a chore sometimes. I don't know why, but sometimes they're just very uncooperative, including what you saw on camera. The vehicle mode is it's a War for Cybertron vehicle mode, which is kind of like a vaguely vehicle shaped wedge, which works for the aesthetic, but you know, if you don't like the aesthetic, it's not going to work for you. And of course, there's weapon storage and everything. It's a pretty solid footing. It's a fairly solid Voyager, I feel. Again, if you're into the War for Cybertron aesthetic, it's a very good Voyager, and I think you won't regret picking it up. But if you're not into the aesthetic at all, then it's not going to really do much for you. I don't think there's anything here that's going to change your mind. But if you want to give it a shot, I think you're going to get a good toy out of it overall. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my social medias down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee and my Patreon. I'll see you next time with another video review.